Good evening, sir. Can I help you with something? Yeah, I was looking for a pen. Sir, why didn't you get this pen? It's got a metallic body, it's got Japanese technology. Okay, what is the price of this pen? Sir, this pen will cost you 1000 rupees. 1000 rupees for this pen? I'll get 100 pens for 1000 rupees. Sir, you deal with smart and savvy professionals all day long. Once you get this pen, you will get a powerful, polished and professional look. Start using this pen and you will be closing deals faster than Mukesh Ambani. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, we all know that by becoming better salesmen, we can have a direct impact on the bottom line of our career. Today I am going to share with you time-tested techniques of selling through which you can steer your company to the top like Steve Jobs did with Apple. The first step is to build trust and rapport with your customer. When we were looking to buy a car, we were flooded with options. We saw all the ads, went through the marketing material and took numerous test drives. But instead of getting illuminated, we got more and more ignorant and irritated. Do you know the reason why? Every car was claiming to be the #1 car of the year. Finally, after visiting dozens of showrooms, we became very cynical. After visiting all the showrooms, we met a guy who was a superb salesman. He looked us in the eye and using verbal and non-verbal communication, built trust and rapport with us. After he earned our trust, we were much more open to listen to his presentation. And do you think we brought the car? Yes, we definitely brought the car. The first step for us is to build trust and rapport with our customer. Failing to do so and asking the customer to shell out their hard-earned money is not unlike a root canal without anesthesia. It will not be tolerated. After building trust and rapport with our customer, we must find out the problems afflicting him. But the reality is 90% of the prospects deny that they have any problem. Their judgment is clouded with doubt, denial and distress. So how can we make the prospect admit that he has a problem? Simple, ask questions to him. When you ask questions to the prospect, the same prospect who was denying his problems will be allowed to perceive the same problems. When I was pitching some food supplements to a client, he was in violent denial. He said that he did not need any supplements at all. With my next client, I was a little bit smarter. I asked him a question. Sir, do you think your current dietary needs are being met with your diet? He said, no. Sir, if I can show you a way through which you can meet your nutritional needs easily, effectively and economically, will you be willing to look into it? He said, yes. Because he had discovered the problem himself, he was much more willing to look into solutions. Finally, even though the prospect may see logically how your product may pacify his plight, he may still be unwilling to take action. Because parting with his hard-earned money feels like a terrible tragedy to him. This is when you need to create urgency in the mind of the prospect and make him jump off the fence. Once I was offering a prospect the opportunity to invest in my company. He was hesitating and offering the standard excuses. So I decided to be a little bit audacious. Like a master showman, I rapped my knuckles on the desk 3 times like this. Do you hear that, Mr. Prospect? He said, no. I asked him if he knew what that sound was. And he said, "No. Sir, that is the sound of opportunity knocking, and opportunity knocks only once. You should not miss out on it." This time I closed the sale with the feeling of a cheerful child on a Christmas morning. So friends, if you want to close sales more often, remember the 3 golden rules of selling. Build trust and rapport with your prospect, probe gently with questions, and do not hesitate to create urgency. Practice these principles with perfection, and I assure you that your career will take off like a rocket. Over to you, Toastmaster.